Okay. Hello, friends. We're here today to interview Sonya Yates from Alabama, and I want to welcome you to the Science of Reading Project. The Science of Reading Project is dedicated to interviewing parents, teachers, and professors of higher education to hear the stories of these individuals and how the science of reading has impacted them personally and professionally. Good morning, Sonya.
Good morning. How are you?
I am great. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to start with our first question. Tell us who you are, where you work, and the scope of your position.
I am Sonya Yates. I am from Alabama, and I work in our largest school district in Alabama, Mobile County. I'm the intervention coordinator for our district. I'm also president of our Dyslexia Advisory Council and serve on our Alabama Literacy Act Task Force.
Wow, you sound really busy.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about your educational background. When were you first introduced to evidence-based instruction or science of reading?
I first was introduced, it was not in college, unfortunately. I went through college in the whole language craze, and I was introduced when I moved down to South Alabama and went into, my background is special education. You know, we always think that special educators have more training in science-based reading instruction than anyone else, and that's not true. And I walked into a classroom. It was a unit for K2, and I had students who didn't know the letters of the alphabet nor their sounds, and I had no idea how to teach them because I'd never been taught, you know, any phonics instruction at all. And I was lucky enough to work next door to someone who had been a trainer in a science-based reading program, who mentored me and held my hand for 3 years until I discovered that there is a way to teach kids where they all can learn, the majority of them. And once I started in that, then I actually started seeking out trainings on my own. And it taught kids to read who were in second grade and didn't know those letters or their sounds. And it changed not just the way that I thought, but the way everyone around me thought and saw reading instruction also.
That's wonderful. That's how it happens. You have to spread the word. Okay, question 3. How has the knowledge of evidence-based instruction influenced your instruction or what you're doing in your position, your current position?
Well, you know, it did change my instruction because it changed the way that I saw and the possibilities that I saw for students. And so when I was in the classroom, now as someone out of the classroom and an advocate for our state, that's what it's changed. It's changed my advocacy. It's changed my focus. And whereas, you know, before it was making sure that parents knew their rights and what to do, now it's more make sure that we stay focused on the student and what that they need. But also understanding that teachers, we don't know what we don't know. And it's not because teachers don't want to do this, it's because we don't know how to do it. Teachers don't go into education wanting to fail their students. Right. You know, we go into education because we want to make a difference. We can't make a difference if we don't know how. And that's one of the things that in our state we've really focused on over the past couple of years, is making sure that teacher education, you know, is there, not just for pre-service teachers, but for the ones in the field, that making sure that they have what they need. And I've sat so many times and listened to them say, why has no one ever told me this before?
And I know what you're talking about.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sure you do.
So, in your opinion, what is needed in teacher education preparation to assure that teachers are prepared to be effective reading instructors?
One of the things that I always think about when someone asks this is, you know, Nancy Young's ladder of reading. And we have those students who are going to learn, some of them no matter what we do, and some of them with that first instruction. And those kids are the ones that when we go through college, I felt like those were the students that we were prepared to teach, the ones that get it that first time. It's
Right.
those kids that don't get it that first time, that type of instruction doesn't work for them. And that's, in my opinion, that's where we miss it in our colleges of education. What to do when they don't get it, what to do when it's not working for a student, how to recognize the signs, how to identify the issues, and how to be diagnostic and prescriptive in your teaching. We say that all students are general ed students first. That's something in Alabama we've heard a lot of recently. Well, if they are all, general ed students first, then our general ed instruction should be strong enough to reach all of them rather than just the top, 40 to 50%. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things in our teacher education that we've advocated for in our state. We're seeing some changes. It's been fantastic. We've had some teachers, some professors go through letters training.
Wonderful.
They have brought that into their courses. They picked it up immediately and advocated for it themselves. So we're seeing some changes. And I just think, though, that understanding the brain research behind how kids learn to read is something that we've got to continue to advocate for.
Absolutely. So in your position as a dyslexia, are you for the International Dyslexia Association? Is that who you were working for?
The Dyslexia Advisory Council is something that's set up through our state to advise our state department. I also serve on our IDA Alabama branch. Actually, I take over as president next year. I'm president-elect right now.
Wow.
So we have a very strong Dyslexia Advisory Council, and then we have a strong IDA branch also. So.
Very good. So you have a Dyslexia Advisory Council. That to me is very important for each state to have one of those. And I'm really glad to hear that Alabama has one. I would love to see that here in Wisconsin.
Yes, well, it is. It's been quite interesting because last year, maybe the past year and a half, is when we first actually, our advice was taken. And it has been, it's been a long, hard journey. We went into, it was formed in 2015.
Okay.
It just took 5 years.
5 years.
For them to start.
Yep.
And now it has been amazing. We actually just finished a book study with our state Alabama Reading Initiative staff and regional staff on Conquering Dyslexia by Jan Hasbrook.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, and it was eye-opening. It was building relationships, and that was, that trust relationship that's so needed, when you have something like a Dyslexia Advisory Council that's, in the advisory position. And so anyway, that was really, really eye-opening for a lot of us about the knowledge that everyone has and what everybody brings to the table. And so anyway, that's something I would advise for anybody who has one, is to do a book study with them.
That is great advice. I am going to share that widely because I think that's really an important part of educating those around us that don't know, especially our legislators. They really don't know. In all fairness to them, they're not educators. So helping them when that journey will really get things going, in a forward movement in your state. So that's going to be my first recommendation.
I actually 2 years ago, I guess it was last year, did a dyslexia simulation for our Education Policy Committee at our State House.
Another great idea.
And that was eye-opening for them. Because,
excellent. Well, you are full of great ideas. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, it is, I've been advocating for a while, so.
Well, very good, Sonya. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm going to share your ideas right now on Facebook. Thanks for
All
your
right.
time. All
Thank
righty.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.